नंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरा वनचारी यमुना तीरा वनचारी यमुना तीरा वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय राधा गिरिधारी राधे जय राधा राज बिहारी राधे जय राधा गोविंद राधे जय जगन्नाथ जय बलदेवा जय सुभद्रा गौरानिताय जय गौरानिताय जय गौरानिताय नित्य गौरा हरि बोल हरि बोल नित्य गौरा हरि बोल हरि बोल जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय गुरुदेव जय जय गुरुदेव श्री प्रभुपाद की जय सॉरी फॉर माय वॉइस आई हैव सीवियर थ्रोट infection Hare Krishna. Today I am going to do Emana Durumati by Bhakti Shila Bhakti Vinodha Thakur. Bhakti Vinodha Thakur ki jai ho. Emana Durmati સંસાર ભીતરે પડ્યા છે નુઆમી એ મન દુર્મતિ સંસાર ભીતરે પડ્યા છે નુઆમી તવ નિજ જાન કોન મહાજને તવ નિજ જાન કોન મહાજને પાઠાઈયા દિલે તુમી.
Mataji, if you want, I can sing.
हाँ माताजी.
If you want, I can sing.
माताजी. Yes, माताजी, please.
Okay.
Thank you,
माताजी. एमन दुर्मति संसार भीतरे पुड़ियाछि नुआमी तब निज जन कोनो महाजने পাঠাইয়া দিলে তুমি মন দুর্মতি সংসার ভিতরে পড়িয়াছি আমি দয়া করি মোরে পতিত দেখিয়া কহিল আমারে গিয়া ওহে দীন জন শুনো ভালো কথা उल्लासित बेहिया মনো দুর্মতি সংসার ভিতরে পড়িয়াছি আমি তোমারে তারিতে শ্রীকৃষ্ণ চৈতন্য নবদ্বীপে अवतार তোমাহে নকত দিনহীন জন জানে করিলে না পার এমন দুর্মতি সংসার ভিতরে পড়িয়াছি আমি वेदेर प्रतिज्ञा राखिबार तारे रुक्मवर्ण विप्रसूत महाप्रभु नामे नदिया माताए संगी भाई अवधूत মন দুর্মতি সংসার ভিতরে পড়িয়াছি আমি नंदसुत जीनी चैतन्य गोसाई निज नाम कोरी दान तारिलो जगत तुमियो जाइया लोह निज परित्राण মনো দুর্মতি সংসার ভিতরে পড়িয়াছি আমি সে কথা শুনিয়া আসিয়াছি নাথ তোমার চরণ তলে ভক্তি বিনোদ কান্দিয়া কান্দিয়া ভক্তি বিনোদ কান্দিয়া কান্দিয়া আপন কাহিনী বলে মন দুর্মতি সংসার ভিতরে পড়িয়াছি আমি মন দুর্মতি সংসার ভিতরে পড়িয়াছি আমি তব নিজ জন কোন মহাজনে পাঠাইয়া দিলে তুমি তব নিজ জন কোন মহাজনে পাঠাইয়া দিলে তুমি এমন দুর্মতি সংসার ভিতরে পড়িয়াছি আমি হরে কৃষ্ণ
Thank you so much, Mataji. Thank you. So wonderfully done.
Thank you, Mataji.
Wow. Thank you, Mataji. Prabhuji, I am doing translation.
Okay.
हे नाथ, मैं एक पापी हूँ तथा इस भौतिक संसार में गिर गया हूँ, परंतु आपने अहेतु की कृपावश एक महापुरुष को, जो कि आपको अतिशय प्रिय है, मेरे उद्धार हेतु भेज दिया है। उन्होंने मुझे ऐसी प्रतीत अवस्था में देखकर दयावश मेरे पास आकर कहा, हे पतितात्मा, मेरे इन हितकारी शब्दों को सुनो, इनको सुनने से तुम्हारा हृदय हर्षित होगा। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य महाप्रभु आपका उद्धार करने के लिए ही नवद्वीप में अवतरित हुए हैं। उन्होंने आपके ही जैसे अनेकानेक पतित एवं पापियों को भौतिक संसार से उद्धार कर दिया है। वेदों की वाणी को सत्य करने हेतु वे स्वर्णिम कांति धारण करके नवद्वीप में ब्राह्मण के पुत्र रूप में प्रकट हुए हैं। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य तथा उनके भाई नित्यानंद ने नदिया के समस्त लोगों को पवित्र नाम के जप से आप्लावित कर मदोमत कर दिया है। भगवान चैतन्य कृष्ण से अभिन्न है, जो कि नंद महाराज के पुत्र है। उन्होंने संपूर्ण विश्व के लोगों का उद्धार अपना पवित्र नाम वितरित करके कर दिया। आपको चाहिए कि आप उनकी शरण में जाओ और उनसे अपने उद्धार की भिक्षा मांगो। हे नाथ, इन शब्दों को सुनने के पश्चात मैं आपके चरण कमलों के निकट आया हूँ। अतः श्रील भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर रोते रोते अपनी कथा भगवान से कह रहे हैं। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। श्री भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर की जय हो। माता जी, आई एम ट्राइंग टू डू नित्याय पद कमल। कल मैंने इतना अच्छे से नहीं कर पाई थी, आज देखती हूँ कर सकूं तो। हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी। निताई पद कमल कोटि चंद्र सुशीतल, निताई पद कमल कोटि चंद्र सुशीतल जे छाया जगत जुड़ाया, जे छाया जगत जुड़ाया। हे निताय बिने भाई, राधा कृष्ण पाई ते नहीं। दृढ़ करी धर निताई र पाया, दृढ़ करी धर निताई र पाया। निताई पद कमल कोटि चंद्र सुशीतल, से संबंध नाही जारा, वृथा जन्म गेलो तार। से पशु बड़ो दुराचार, से पशु बड़ो दुराचार। निताई पद कमल कोटि चंद्र सुशीतल, निताई ना बलि बमुखे, मजिलो संसार सुखे। विद्याकुले की करी बेतार, विद्याकुले की करी बेतार। निताई पद कमल कोटि चंद्र सुशीतल, अहंकारे मत्त होइया, निताई पद पासरिया। असत्य सत्य करी मानी, असत्य सत्य करी मानी। निताई पद कमल कोटि चंद्र सुशीतल, निताई करुण हबे, ब्रजे राधा कृष्ण पावे। धर निताई चरण दुखानी, धर निताई चरण दुखानी। निताई पद कमल कोटि चंद्र सुशीतल, निताईर चरण सत्य, जाहार सेवक नित्य। निताई पद सदा कर आशा, निताई पद सदा करो आशा। निताई पद कमल कोटि चंद्र सुशीतल, नरोत्तम बड़ो दुखी, निताई मोरे कर सुखी। राख रांगा चरणेर पाश, राख रांगा चरणेर पाश। निताई पद कमला कोटि चंद्र सुशीतल, निताई पद कमल कोटि चंद्र सुशीतल। जे छाया जगत जुड़ाया, जे छाया जगत जुड़ाया। निताई पद कमल कोटि चंद्र सुशीतल, निताई पद कमल कोटि चंद्र सुशीतल। श्री भक्ति नरोत्तम दास ठाकुर की जय हो। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। श्री प्रभुपाद की जय हो। थैंक यू प्रभु जी फॉर वंडरफुल सेवा। थैंक यू माता जी फॉर हेल्पिंग मी।
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you very much, Archana Mataji and Raksha Mataji. So nicely sung with bhajans. I welcome all the devotees to today's session. We'll be doing Srimad Bhagavatam today. Before we start, let us have the invocation prayers. नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवास गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवाञ्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं त्वजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान् सहगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितं च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिकाकांत राधाकांत नमस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरंगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वंशाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः पंचतत्त्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तभक्तिकं जयतां सुरतो पंगुर्मम मन्दमतिर्गति मत्सर्वस्वपदाम्बोजो राधामदनमोहन दिव्याद वृंदारण्य कल्पद्रुमां श्रीमद्रत्नांगर सिंहासन स्थितो श्रीमद् गोविंद देवो पृष्ठालिभिषेव्यमानौ स्मरामि श्रीमान् रासरसारम्भी वंशीवटतटस्थित दर्शन वेणुस्वनैर्गोपीर्गोपीनाथ श्रियस्तु नः श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद Now we'll offer our obeisances to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and the six Goswamis of Vrindavan. नमो महावदान्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नमने गौरोति से नमः O most munificent incarnation, you are Krishna himself appearing as Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. You have assumed the golden color of Srimati Radharani and you are widely distributing pure love of Krishna. We offer our respectful obeisances unto you. Krishna Varnam Tisha Krishnam Sangopanga Parsadam Yagge Sankirtana Prayar Yajanti Sumedasa. In the age of Kali, intelligent persons perform congregational chanting to worship the incarnation of Godhead who constantly sings the name of Krishna. Although his complexion is not blackish, he is Krishna himself. He is accompanied by his associates, servants, weapons, and confidential companions. Nana Shastra Vicharana Kaimipunam Sadharma Sanstapakau Lokanam Hitakarinam Tribhuvane Manya Saranya Karau Radha Krishna Padara Vinda Bhajana Anandena Mattalikau Bande Rupa Sanatana Raghujugu Sri Jiva Gopalakau. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the six Goswamis of Vrindavan, namely Sri Rupa Goswami, Sri Sanatana Goswami, Sri Raghunatha Bhatta Goswami, Sri Raghunatha Dasa Goswami, Sri Jiva Goswami, and Sri Gopala Bhatta Goswami, who are very expert in scrutinizingly studying all the revealed scriptures with the aim of establishing eternal religious principles for the benefit of all human beings. Thus, they are honored all over the three worlds and they are worth taking shelter of because they are absorbed in the mood of the gopis and are engaged in the transcendental loving service of the divine couple Sri Radha and Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudire. नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमा श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। I welcome all the devotees to the today's session. We'll start with the series of Srimad Bhagavatam. Last time we had covered two verses from 10th canto, first chapter. We'll be covering the next verses. That is, I plan to cover verses 3 to 7. Verse 3, we'll read it from the Srimad Bhagavatam. It is given in the slide also. Okay, I'll read it.
Prabhuji, may I read? May I read?
Okay, yes.
Yes, Prabhuji. हरे कृष्णा, श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय हो। अवतीर्य यदो वंशे भगवान् भूतभावनः कृतवान् यानि विश्वात्मा तानि नो वद्विस्तरात्। Prabhuji, in my I have Gujarati translation. May I read Gujarati translation?
Okay.
Because I have to open in my tablet. It takes some time.
Okay.
Okay. સૃષ્ટિના કારણ રૂપ એવા પૂર્ણ પુરુષોત્તમ પરમેશ્વર ભગવાન શ્રી કૃષ્ણ યદુવંશમાં પ્રગટ થયા હતા. તેમના દિવ્ય લીલા કાર્યો તથા ચારિત્ર્ય અંગે અમને આદિથી અંત સુધી વિસ્તારપૂર્વક કહેવાની કૃપા કરો. હરે કૃષ્ણ.
Thank you, Mataji. The translation in English is the super soul, the supreme personality of Godhead Sri Krishna, the cause of the cosmic manifestation, appeared in the dynasty of Yadu. Please tell me elaborately about his glorious activities and character from the beginning to the end of his life. That means Sukhdev Goswami is being requested to tell about the life history of Krishna from the beginning to the end. Here what is given, the super soul. Now, as you know, the Heterodoxy Vishnu is the super soul or the Paramatma. But why this word super soul is used? Because Lord Krishna is the super soul of the entire universe. Okay, we'll go into the details of this verse. अवतीर्य यदुर्वंशे भगवान भूत भावना ऋतवान यानी विश्वात्मा तानि नो वद विस्तार. We'll see the meaning of all these words in very great detail as explained or commented by our Acharya. Now, word by word, I will give the explanation. Then we'll go into the commentaries of the various Acharyas. Now, Avatirya Yadurvansa means after descending in the Yadu dynasty, Bhagavan means the Lord, the Supreme Lord, Bhuta Bhavana. We'll see the explanation of this term subsequently. Bhuta Bhavana means who causes the existence of beings, who is responsible for causing the existence of all beings. Because of his desire, all the living beings, they come into existence in these material worlds. Kritavan means did. And Yani means whatever activities. Viswatma means the soul of all, or whose body is the whole universe, the whole world. And Vistarat means elaborately. That's why we learned the meaning. Elaborate upon the activities of the Supreme Lord Krishna, the soul of all and the creator of all beings, performed after he descended in the Yadu dynasty. After he descended in the Yadu dynasty, what did he do? What were his activities? I want to know in very great detail. Now, let us hear about the various commentaries given by our acharyas on this verse. Now, starting with Sridhar Swami. Sridhara Swami says that his deeds were already mentioned in the last two verses of the ninth canto, 24th chapter, Jato Gatar Pitragrahat, that verse. That means after his appearance, Krishna, by whom wealth is expanded, left his father's house and went to Braja. This is given in the 66th verse, which we saw last time. Anticipating this, Parikshit said that it is true that you have given in very brief the contents of the Srimad Bhagavatam 10th canto. Nevertheless, describe them elaborately, Vistarat. Now, let us see what Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur he says about this verse. He says that the various deeds of Lord Krishna were already partially described in verses beginning with Jato Gata Pitragraha Brajam, like this, that those two verses, 66 and 67, from the 24th chapter of the first canto, first chapter, the ninth canto, 24th chapter, 66 and 67 verses. Now, therefore, anticipating this objection, Parikshit is saying his exploits cannot be described in their entirety, even after summarizing them also, because it is so expansive, so vast. You partially described them by summarizing them in two verses. Therefore, I am requesting to expand only those words in many verses. That's what Sukadeva Goswami will be doing. Then about Bhuta Bhavana. Bhutani Bhavananti Premavanti Karoti means he makes beings have prema. The purpose of his descent is described on account of the various regions given in this verse. First is what? He delighted the world with his body, whose every limb is charming. It is given from a verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, 9th canto, 24th chapter, 64th verse. We heard about the 66 and 67. We are now talking about the 64th verse. That says, Nrulokam na Mariamsa Nutteya Sarvanga Ramyaya. Now he delighted the whole world with his body, and that means his physical features are so beautiful that nobody would have seen it earlier, and one gets totally enchanted. Now, then the second reason is he vanished from the sight of the humans whose eyes were not satiated. That means if you see Krishna, your eyes will not get satiated ever. That means in that state only he has to live. He cannot satisfy you fully, because nobody can ever be satisfied by seeing the Supreme Lord with their eyes. And the third is, it says that the human eyes are limited, and that's why nobody can any longer see the beauty in this world once one has seen the transcendental body of Lord Krishna, that is the meaning of this. And Viswatma signifies that he is Paramatma, more so than either the body of a jiva or deserves to become the recipient of one's love. And this will become clear at the end of Brahma's prayers in the 14th chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, the 10th canto. This we will be discussing that time also. Now, the sense, then there is a word in this verse, Vistarat. Vistarat means speak by bringing about the attainment of an elaboration, that is, elaborate the various things which you have discussed in the two verses in the 9th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, where the meanings are easily understandable for people like us. This is what he is saying. Whose commentary we are seeing? We are seeing Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's commentary. Then let us go by Sanatana Goswami. Now, if you see Sanatana Goswami's commentary and Jiva Goswami's commentary, they are quite similar. What Sanatana Goswami is saying, that all the actions of Lord Krishna, they are greatly amazing. And that's why in this verse he says, describe them, all of them, in detail. And Avatirya means after descending, the state of being the supreme controller in person, and Bhagavan means he is completely full of godly might, that is Aishwarya. Now, in addition, regarding Bhuta Bhavana, what Sanatana Goswami says, this signifies that the creator, he is the creator of all living entities by his will only. Moreover, Viswatma means the inner controller of all. And in terms of being Parameswara, the three adjectives are sequentially superior than one from the other. Now, there is another explanation also, right after pointing out the purpose of his descent, that is Bhuta Bhavana, the manifestation of various virtues, such as compassion, is employed in the term Viswatma. And therefore, Bhuta Bhavana means Bhutani Bhavayati Sarvani Pralayati iti tathasa. That means he protects everyone. The Lord, Supreme Lord, he is protecting all of us all the time. Hence, Viswatma means Visvaya Atma Paramapriya, the soul of all, Paramatma. In other words, he is most dear. And this will become clear at the end of the 14th chapter, as I said. Now, alternatively, Visvaya Atma means he makes one understand. This means he is an inspirer as regards doing bhajana for him. Thus, an infinity of actions for the sake of this thing, and what is meant is what is stated here in Bhagavatam are indeed to be expressed in terms of belonging to the Supreme Lord. Therefore, Bada means Sankirtaya, that means to glorify all these actions as there are. And Vistarat means after elaboration. Now the sense is in such a way, elaborate in such a way, then there are offshoots by mentioning his motives and so on, but not concisely and before. What he is saying, don't describe them in brief, in gist, in synopsis. please describe them in an elaborate manner. That's what we see in Srimad Bhagavatam in the 12 cantos. This is the biggest portion with the 90 chapters in the 10th canto. That's what we are studying. Now, Jiva Goswami, he also describes similarly as Sanatana Goswami has done in the first part. In the second part, he says about the Sankirta means Vada, and that is glorify all these actions and do them elaborately by mentioning his motives, but not concisely as you have done in the ninth canto, the verses 66 and 67. Now, Parikshit Maharaj is saying that simply out of eagerness, though he knows it is impossible to describe the deeds of the Supreme Lord, but still he is requesting Sukadeva Goswami to describe them in great detail. Now, let us see what Baladev Vidyabhusana he says. Vistarat means for Vistarena, elaborately. The gist is narrate elaborately because I am not satiated even after hearing those two verses of the 24th chapter, 9th canto, 24th chapter. And Bhuta Bhavana, what Baladev Vidyabhushan described, he says Bhuta Bhavana means Bhutani Bhavayanti Bhutani Premadrani Karoti. He makes living entities, living beings melt out of love. That means he pervades all the living beings, senses, such as eyes, with his beauty and so forth. And then another commentator, Vijay Dhwaja Tirtha, let us see what he says about this verse. What he says that this verse he only repeats because the purport, because of the purport. Now Viswatma means Viswa Vyapi. He pervades the entire universe, the complete world. And with this, he hints at the state of being Brahman. He is like the Mahavishnu pervades all the Brahman, as Brahman, the whole universe. Lord Krishna is also pervading the complete universe. And regarding Vistarat, he is saying, speak elaborately. Do not only expand in terms of meanings, but in regard to the sound as well. Now then, Veera Raghava, he is another commentator of Srimad Bhagavatam. Now let us see what Veera Raghava says about these things. About the Bhuta Bhavana and Viswatma, he makes a distinction with an intention. Now, he is saying the meaning is elaborately talk about the purpose of and the reason of his descent. That means in so many words, talk about why he came to this material world, the purpose and the reason for his descent. And Bhuta Bhavana means he causes good entities to develop, good qualities to develop. That is, he delivers them. And Viswatma means either the inner soul, soul of soul, or he, a body of whom is the world. Now, Ballavacharya has also made selected commentary on this Srimad Bhagavatam. Now, he says that he makes entities, that is, the living entities, undergo experiences. He makes beings have realizations. That is what he is doing. Now, in explanation, the author, the commentator, he says that Sanatana Goswami and Jiva Goswami's interpretation of Bhuta Bhavana is he protects everyone And this one has been taken from Sridhar Swami's explanation of Bhuta Bhavana in a passage in Bhagavad Gita. And Sridhar Swami derives Bhuta Bhavana as Bhavanani Bhavayanti Pralayati Bhuta Bhavana. That means the verbal root can be Bhu Praptavtu. That means to attain. And the Lord attains the living beings. What does it mean? It means he protects or else he makes beings to attain them. He inspires them to attain the Supreme Lord. That is what is the meaning. And therefore, the word bhavana can be made from three clear verbal roots. What are those? The two others are bhu avakalpane. That means to contemplate, from which the word bhava means emotion has been derived. Then the Viraraghava indicated in consideration of this verse that the conventional meaning supersedes etymological meaning. And now, therefore, Viswatma primarily denotes Mahavishnu. That is what he is saying. And Mahavishnu is frequently called Viswatma, as given in Brahma Samhita also. And Bhuta Bhavana is in the literal sense, it means he causes beings to exist in this material world. Now, then, okay, I'll give this much explanation for the third verse. Let us go on to the fourth verse. Fourth verse is also very, very important.
Prabhuji.
Yes.
Yes, may I recite, Prabhuji?
Yes.
Yes, Prabhuji. One of the most popular sloka.
Yes.
निवृत्ततर्षे उपगीयमानात् भवौषधश्रोतमनोभिरामात् क उत्तमश्लोकगुणानुवादात् पुमान् विरचेत् विना पशुज्ञात्. Translation. Glorification of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is performed in the Parampara system, that is, it is conveyed from the spiritual master to disciple. Such glorification is realized by those no longer interested in the false, temporary glorification of this cosmic manifestation. Description of the Lord are the right medicine for the conditioned soul, undergoing repeated birth and death. Therefore, who will cease hearing such glorification of the Lord except a butcher or one who is killing his own self? Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you. So, what is being said here? The glorification of the Supreme Lord is performed in the Parampara system. What has come in the Parampara? Like our Parampara, it is coming from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu downwards. It is a system, it is a Parampara. Here, the various acharyas in the past, they have commented on various verses, and based on that, the others are explaining. That is the best system which can happen. But in the present day world, some people, they would read Srimad Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita, and they'll say, I have become learned because I have studied so many versions, and he will start giving his commentary. That is not because that has not come in the Parampara system. That is not authentic at all, and that's why we should not read those. Now, what is being said, the Parampara system, that it is conveyed from spiritual master to the disciple. And when such glorification is released by those who no longer interested in the false temporary glorification of the cosmic manifestation, there are so many material things in this material world which are glorified. Like you see the various political leaders, various personalities, various nations, various places, they are described, they are glorified. but it has nothing to do unless it has got connection with the Supreme Lord. Description of the Lord are the right medicine for the conditioned soul undergoing repeated birth and death. Why? What is our problem? Because we are we have got into this material world where there is repeated birth and death. We have taken birth so many million trillion times, and still we are going from one birth to the other, one body to the other. But if we hear about the description of the Supreme Lord, then that is the right medicine for the conditioned souls and will get relief. Therefore, who will cease hearing such glorification of the Lord except a butcher or one who is killing his own self? Now, in detail, we'll see um, uh, this verse in very great detail. Now, before I start, I'll give the word by word meaning of this various terms used here. Nibritya taser upagire manad. Nibritya taser means by those whose thirst has ceased. That is, basically you can say these are the devotees. And upagiya manad means which is sung. Bhava osadhat means which is the medicine for the material disease, for the disease of material existence. Srotra means to the ears, and mana means to the mind. Abhiramat means which is pleasing, and Uttama Sloka means of the Supreme Lord, whose fame is topmost, or he is the best. And Guna Anubadat means from reiteration of the qualities. Uman means man or the soul. And Virajayate means would desist. And Pasugnath means killer of animals. Now we'll see what our acharyas have commented with on many of these terms which are used here, starting with Sridhar Swami. Now Sridhar Swami says that there are three kinds of people in this world. What are the types? The liberated souls who are mukta, and those who strive for liberation, mumukshu, like we are trying for liberation. We have come into this devotional service, path of devotional service. And the third is the material enjoyers or the Visai. No one among them has sufficient understanding. Therefore, Parikshit Maharaj expresses this with Nibritta Taser, which means Gata Trishna Mukti, by liberated souls from whom desires have gone. Those people who have no desires at all. And who are these? These are actually the devotees. A pure devotee does not have any desire for anything other than connected with the Lord. And next, Siddhar Swami comments on the term, on the word Bhava Usadat. Now, Bhava Usadat means Parikshit says the glorification of the various transcendental qualities of the Lord is the only means for which to seek liberation from this material world. And with Srotra Mano Viramat, he says it is the topmost topic, Visaya. There is no other topic which is better than this. And Visaya means for the material enjoyer. Now, the words Bina Pasugnath means either Bina Pasugna, that means except a killer of animals, or Bina Apasugnath, means which signifies that except one who kills his soul. Literally, the soul is killed, that from which the sorrows have gone away. Apasugnat means if one kills his own soul, then we'll see the commentaries of the other acharyas also in this. But elaborating on Pasugnat, we should remember that a karmi who desires to attain heavenly happiness by reaping the result of executing sacrifices of animals, that is, animal sacrifices, which is given in the Karmakanda section of the Vedas. These are the various karmi. Only he who refrains from hearing the description of the Lord's qualities, for example, those who follow in the three paths of the moral ethics, and dharma, artha, kama. And dharma means the moral ethics, artha means economic development, and kama means sense gratification. They are averse to the discourse of those intelligent whose intelligence is fixed in Sri Hari. That means one whose intelligence is fixed on Lord Krishna or Hari, he is averse to this dharma, artha, kama, even moksha. Now, there is also another explanation. In this verse, Parikshit Maharaj says that there certainly is bliss for both the narrator and the hearer. That is, which speaker could desist from a subsequent glorification of the Supreme Lord Krishna or the Uttama Sloka's qualities after hearing from a guru. Now, no one could do this because Nibritta Tasen Upagriya Manad means even a constant glorification of Krishna's qualities is sung as greater than all others, everything else, not to mention the relishment of these transcendental qualities. The sense is a speaker like you is also relisher of the qualities of the Supreme Lord. And the term Nibritta Taser only denotes pure devotees. It does not include the Jnanis because it is used in the present tense, Gyamanat. And therefore the prefix Upa means Upagyamanat, what is used here, it expresses superiority, is placed beside it. Then another reason is the Jnanis constantly praise the deep meditation only. And they do meditation on the Brahman. They do not value the continuous glorification of Krishna's qualities. Now, in the same way, Puman means Puman can also signify the hearer, one who is hearing the Srimad Bhagavatam. And while listening to the Lord Krishna's qualities, how could a materialistic hearer like me be indifferent to it, since it is the remedy for the material life, that is the Bhavausadiya? The reason both the speaker and the hearer are not indifferent, it is stated in this terms, Sotra Mono Aviramat, because such a glorification pleases the ear and the mind. And if a karmi were to become a speaker or a hearer out of a desire to somehow or the other to obtain wealth and so on, then only he would desist. That is the substance of Pasugnana Vina. Now, what does Sanatana Goswami says about this? Sanatana Goswami says this, that do not think I will be satisfied even after hearing the extensive narration of the Supreme Lord's various activities. Now he speaks with that in mind, who could desist from a narration which is being superiorly sung, or else which is sung as being above everything else by the liberated souls also. and such narration brings out high bliss because it is always celebrated as the topmost achievement by anybody. And Bhava Ausadhat signifies that those narrations that dispel all sorrow, all the sorrows, they go away from the living being. And so they are both sadhya, a goal, and sadhana, also the means of accomplishing the goal. Thus, what is expressed here is they should always be served by everyone. Therefore, he is saying, who would not be satiated, or else how could one desist from this action? And that's why the what he is trying to convey is that we should always speak about and hear the glories of the Supreme Lord, and that's how our all the miseries will be taken away by the Supreme Lord. And regarding Pasugnath, what Sanatana Goswami says, he says, though he could be considered as somebody could be considered as a sense enjoyer, Visai, actually he is not even that, insofar as he does not know the happiness of this world, nor of heaven, due to his constant afflictions in this material world. Now, Jiva Goswami also says similarly, he is also saying that do not think I am satiated even after hearing extensive narration about the Supreme Lord. And he said liberated soul signifies both the jnanis and the pure devotees. Because these devotees, they are of two kinds. In addition, there are those who are liberated while living, that is the Jivan Mukta, and those who have achieved Salokya Mukti also. Thus, there are four kinds of liberated souls. Now, then about the mumukshus, he says for the liberated souls, and the continuous bliss one obtains, one gets by the hearing the pastimes, it manifests in their hearts in terms of being even greater than bliss of Brahman, and transforms this kind of singing in such a way that it is extremely great or exalted. And it is thus shown that only by singing, that is glorifying the Supreme Lord, this is the main aspect for them, because it occurs spontaneously. And liberated souls are mentioned first because emotions like that, they appear in the heart initially or first, in the first instance. So that's what Jiva Goswami is saying. And then let us see his comments in Kramasandarbha. In Kramasandarbha, he said in this verse, he praises him in a general way, and in the next verse, he praises him in a specific way. We'll study the verses. Actually, 5, 6, and 7, they come together. Now, regarding this verse, Baladev Vidyabhusana, he says Krishna's deeds were repeatedly described. Then why you are inquiring again? To this, he corresponds that who would be indifferent to a descriptions of Krishna's qualities. And the answer is no one. No one would be insensitive to that. That's why one should always hear about the glories of the Supreme Lord. And Srinath Pandita, another commentator, he talks about without a discourse about Uttama Shloka, that is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna's qualities, which person, including a Pasugnath, that is a hunter, become detached from sensory objects. He says, no one. But then, fearing a possible future question regarding attachment for sensory objects, or even just the existence of such an attachment, in the terms of Nivritta Tasir, which is used, it means by those who have no material desire. Therefore, it is the remedy for material existence. Therefore, we should keep on saying or glorifying the Lord and hear about Srimad Bhagavatam. And Viraraghava, he also said similarly, who other than an animal killer, the deceased from the nectar in the form of discourse of the Lord's qualities, where Lord's qualities are being described, a Pasugnath or an animal killer would not listen, others will listen. And Ballavacharya is saying that by singing, there is a sweetness of words. Who desist from a talk about the qualities that are known as the glories of the Uttama Sloka. This is what he is saying. Then with this, let us have a 5 minutes break. And after the 5 minutes break, we will start with the verses 5 to 7. And in case I am not able to finish them today, then we'll continue with them from the next class. Hare Krishna. Okay, well, comments from where we left. And now the three verses 5 to 7 they are coming. Now, who will read these three verses?
If anyone want to do, otherwise I will do, Prabhuji.
Okay, Mataji, you.
Okay. एट अ टाइम ऑल थ्री रीड हुआ प्रभु जी, और सब तीनों रीड कर लूं कि एक वन बाय वन करूं प्रभु जी?
Yeah, one by one.
Okay.
One by one, we'll just read, then we'll see the meaning.
हाँ हाँ, ओके ओके प्रभु जी, हरे कृष्णा।
Hare Krishna.
श्लोका 5। पितामहा मे समरे यमराजये देवव्रताधातिरथे स्मिङ्गले दुरत्ययं कौरवसैन्यसागरं कृत्वा तरन्वात्सपदं स्म यत्प्लवः। हरे कृष्ण प्रभु।
Next one also.
ओके, नेक्स्ट। द्रोण्यस्त्र विप्लुष्टमिदं मदङ्गम् सन्तानबीजं कुरु पाण्डवानां जुगोपकुक्षिं गतात् चक्रो मातुश्चमीयः शरणं गतायः। 7th one। वीर्याणि तस्याखिलदेहपाजा मत बहिर्पुरुषकालरूपैः प्रयच्छतु मृत्युमृतामृतं च माया मनुष्यस्य वदस्य विद्वान्। हरे कृष्ण प्रभु।
Okay, the meaning.
ट्रांसलेशन प्रभु जी, ट्रांसलेशन में आई रीड?
Yes.
ओके प्रभु जी, हाँ, हरि बोल। Yes. Taking the boat of Krishna's lotus feet, my grandfather Arjun and other crossed the ocean of the battlefield of Kurukshetra, in which such commanders as Bhishmadev resembled great fish that could very easily have swallowed them. By the mercy of Lord Krishna, my grandfather crossed this ocean, which was very difficult to cross, as easily as one step over the hoof print of a calf. Because my mother surrendered unto Lord Krishna's lotus feet, the Lord Sudarshan Chakra in hand entered her womb and saved my body, the body of the last remaining descendant of the Kurus and the Pandavas, which was almost destroyed by the fiery weapon of Ashwasthama. Lord Shri Krishna, appearing within the outside of all materially embodied living beings by his own potency in the forms of eternal time, that is the Paramatma, and as a Virat Rupa, gave liberation to everyone, either as cruel death or as life. Kindly enlighten me by describing his transcendental characteristics. Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you. Here, what is being said, Parikshit Maharaj is describing about Lord Krishna's his relationship to his family, that is the parents, his grandparents, rather. Now, what he is in the beginning saying, in the war against Bhishma and the other outstanding giants, in the war of Kurukshetra, my grandfathers, that is the Pandavas, they took the boat of Lord Krishna, the lotus feet, and that's how they turned the insurmountable ocean of the Kauravas army into a footprint of a calf and crossed it so easily. And the Lord Sudarshana Chakra in hand entered the womb of my mother. His mother's mother was Uttara, who was surrendering to him and saved my body because it was being scorched by Aswathama's mystic missile. And that is something like the nuclear weapon. And this very body is the cause of continuation of the Kurus, the Kauravas and the Pandavas dynasties, inwardly and outwardly, in the forms of Purusa and time. The Lord, the Supreme Lord Krishna, he bestows bliss and death to all embodied beings. Now, this is what he is saying. Let us see what the various acharyas they comment on these verses. Now, Sridhar Swami is saying about these verses that he is saying in our family, what Parikshit Maharaj means, in our family deity is Krishna. Therefore, a discourse about him should always be heard. Therefore, Parikshit speaks with this intention. They crossed after making the ocean of the Kauravas army, which was insurmountable with Bhishma and the other great warriors on their side. Now, let us go one by one with the sixth verse. We'll see the meaning. Sixth verse, not much explanation is there, but he is saying that Parikshit is saying that he not only protected the Pandavas, but he saved my body also. That is Parikshit Maharaj when he was in the womb of his mother Uttara. And he by whom the Sudarshana Chakra is there, and he entered the womb of my mother and saved my body, which was scorched by the Aswathama's mystic weapon. Now, going about the seventh verse, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur say that I must hear a discourse about Lord Krishna, and because he is my family deity. That means the explanations are similar to Sridhar Swami also. And he speaks with this intention that having made the ocean of the Kaurava army, though it was hard to cross, because Bhishma and the other great warriors were like Timingla fish. Timingla fish means that can even swallow the whales, the giant whales in the ocean. It was like that, but still the Pandavas, they could cross over that like a hoof print of a calf. Hoof print of a calf filled with water that can be crossed even by a small child. And with that, it became that much easy for the Pandavas to cross over. And that's how they became successful in the battle. That means anybody who has caught hold of the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord Krishna, he will be successful. There is no doubt about it. That is what is being said here. And Sanatana Goswami says that I should by all means always elaborately and in great detail will hear the discourse about Lord Krishna, because he is the lead person in our dynasty, and with This in mind, Parikshit says that Parikshit Maharaj is saying that the Pandavas, they could cross over and they could win over their adversaries who were greater in number and whose strength was also much more than the Pandavas. Then, Bhishma was extremely difficult to be defeated because he was fixed in the great vow that is lifelong celibacy. He had taken the vow and he had defeated so many demigods also, and you know about his story. And I don't want to go to the story of Bhishma. There is time. Okay, there is time. I'll tell in very brief about Bhishma. Bhishma was the son of King Santanu and Ganga Devi, and he was the crown prince when Santanu fell in love with Satyavati, a fisherman's daughter. Now, King Santanu wanted to marry Satyavati, but her father set the condition that her son should become the successor. Now, the king was in a dilemma, and his ministers, they informed Devabrata, that is Bhishma, and at once, without informing his father, Bhishma went to the fisherman's cottage on the bank of the river Ganges and begged for Satyavati on behalf of his father. And the fisherman, he reiterated his condition, and Devavrata agreed that Satyavati's son will be given the right kingship. Now the fisherman pointed out that the disputes were likely to arise between Devavrata, that is Bhishma's son, and Satyavati's son regarding the right of succession. And to this, Devavrata then made a solemn pledge that he would remain a bachelor for life. Now the fisherman approved this plan of Devavrata, and thereafter Satyavati got married to King Santanu. And thereafter the king embraced Devavrata with tears of joy and gratitude. And at that time the gods even showered flowers on the scene. And because he had taken such the great oath, he and from that time he was known as Bhishma, because he had taken a terrible vow. And Santanu, a loving father, then bestowed on Bhishma the boon of dying at will. Later, as Santanu was growing old, one of Satyavati's two sons, Chitrangada, became the king. However, while hunting in a forest, Chitrangada met a Gandharva named Chitrangada, and the Gandharva became very angry that a man bore his name, so he killed him. And this incident took place at Kurukshetra. Now, after that, the other son of Satyavati, Vichitravirya, he became the crown king, but he also died childless. Then Satyavati then sent Ambika and Ambalika, Vichitravirya's widows, to her son Vyasa, who fathered Dhritarashtra through Ambika and Pandu through Ambalika, and Vyasa also begot Vidura from Satyavati's maid. The sons were raised by Bhishma, and Pandu later became the king. This is in short what is the story of Mahabharata, beginning of Mahabharata. Then regarding this verse, the seventh verse, the commentary is while earnestly requesting again out of eagerness the various exploits of Lord Krishna be narrated, he talks about the Lord's glories. And the Supreme Lord, his glories, they contain the highest sweetness, and they are devoid of an unending series of miseries such as the death, like this. Then there is another explanation that about this Purusha. Purusha Kala Rupi, the form of time. Death is time is death only. And as we know, time, it affects everybody who is material. In the spiritual world, the time has no effect. There is no past, present, and future. It is always present only. Time flows like a river there. And there is no past, no future. But in the material world, this time indicates death only. And all the living beings who have taken birth here, they have to come through this. And there is no other way. And Jiva Goswami, what he said about these three verses, he says, I should by all means always elaborately and detail hear a discourse about Lord Krishna, who is the reason of our dynasty. And Parikshit speaks with that in his mind. That's what he is saying. And regarding Yat Plava, whose boat is he, Plava means boat, it denotes that the means of crossing is the boat. And if somebody catches the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord, Krishna, then he will be able to cross over this material world, even though this material world has got so many problems, so many miseries that we have to face in everyday life. But still, then, if we catch hold of the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord, it will be very, very easy for us. And in Kramasandarbha, Jiva Goswami, he says about this, the Vatsa Padam Kritva is signifies Vatsa Padam Iva Kritva. That is, Lord Parikshit Maharaj is saying that Lord Krishna is not an ordinary boat. He is a boat only because he is the means of crossing, not only because of a similarity with a carrier. Now, he is the cause of all causes, and with his that boat will be able to cross this material world and nothing else. Nobody else can help us because he is the supreme Lord. And Baladev Vidyabhusana also says like this. And Srinath Pandita, he says that since the discourses about the qualities, transcendental qualities of the Supreme Lord Krishna, that is very, very dear to the Vaishnavas, we should hear them in detail. That from a person who is in the disciplic succession. He also tells about the meaning of the various other terms like Purusa. I am not covering that. Then in Brihat Karmasandarbha, how it is saying that the Supreme Lord, Supreme Brahman, who is concealed and who has human-like characteristics, his lotus feet, that is, they are the shelter of the living beings. That's why they should catch hold of them and to go over to the spiritual world from this material world. And the other acharyas like Veera Raghava, Vijay Dhwaja, Vallabhacharya, they also similarly give their commentaries. Ballavacharya says that they are defeating a Bhisma. He had defeated a demigod, and that's why he was much more powerful than the other, the Pandava side, but still then he could be defeated only by the blessings of Lord Krishna, because Lord Krishna was on the side of the Pandavas. The Kauravas, they were defeated. and the Dharma was on the side of the Pandavas, and that's why the Kauravas, they could not win over the Pandavas. That's why the gist of these three verses is that we should always catch hold of the lotus feet of Lord Krishna, and he will be uh, um, he will be blessing us, he will be bestowing his mercy on us, and then only we will be able to cross over this world. Otherwise, it is extremely difficult. So, with this, I come to an end of today's class. Now, the session is open for question and answers and your comments. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you so much, Sharat Prabhu. It's so nice and so deep class, Prabhu. Thank you so much, as always. Prabhu, I have a question that this Krama Sandarbha you referred a few times.
Yes, yes.
Is this, could you please talk on this one, Prabhu? Where this, is it different from the Shad Sandarbhas or how it is, Prabhu? Please.
Yes, yes, it is. It is other than the Shandarbha. It is written by Jiva Goswami only, and that does not give as much detail as given in the Shandarbhas. But on certain points, certain issues, it gives comments. It is there, and it is also available in the Sanskrit. The English translation is also available in Vrindavan. I hope I have answered your question.
Yes, Prabhu. I mean, basically, this is a supplementary to the Shad Sandarbhas, any of the Shad Sandarbhas referring, or it is
Yes.
completely differ from the Shad Sandarbhas?
Yes, yes. Certain things which are not there in the Sandarbhas, they have been elaborated in the Kama Sandarbha.
Okay, Prabhu. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Any other question or comment?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for so wonderful class. So different varieties of commentary, Prabhu. Thank you so much. प्रभुजी यहाँ पे परीक्षित महाराज ने बताया कि मुझे और विस्तार से सुनाए और विस्तार से सुनाए। तो ये भागवतम में एक श्लोक आता है कि वयम तू न वितृप्यान उत्तम श्लोक विक्रमे तत्शृण्वता रस ज्ञान स्वादु स्वादु पदे पदे। मतलब ये हमें भी शिक्षा लेनी चाहिए उनसे कि कभी भी हमें संतुष्ट नहीं होना चाहिए भगवान के कथाओं से, और ज्यादा से ज्यादा सुनना ही चाहिए। तो हमें मतलब कभी संतोष नहीं होना चाहिए, बराबर प्रभु जी? क्योंकि वो परीक्षित महाराज को इतना सुनना था कि भी और सुनूं, तो सुखदेव गोस्वामी जी ने इतना एलोबरेटली सब समझाया।
Yes, yes, Mata. Like you see, Parikshit Maharaj, he not only Parikshit Maharaj, but all those rishis, Munis, everybody who were attending that discourse for 7 days and 7 nights, 168 hours, they did not eat anything, they did not drink anything. Why? Because they were not satisfied, they were not satiated with the descriptions, with the qualities, with the leelas of Lord Krishna. That means a devotee, he would not like to hear anything other than Krishna. And if you tell him anything, he will still not be satisfied because he would like to hear more and more. So that's what is being said. We should not be satisfied. And when that stage comes, that means you should think that you are moving into the right direction. You are becoming a perfect devotee, a pure devotee of the Supreme Lord. Otherwise, if somebody thinks doing the 16 rounds we are supposed to do every day, if one thinks that I just have to finish somehow the 16 rounds, that is not the thing. But one should take interest in that, should relish that, should like that, and should like to do much more than 16 rounds. Not that one has done 16 rounds and that's all. That means proper love of God has not developed in the mind. And when that develops, then you keep on hearing anything about Krishna, you will not be satisfied at all. You would like to hear more and more. That is the sign of the devotee, pure devotee. And we should aspire to reach that level one day, and so that the Lord is pleased to bestow His blessings on us. So this is what is the matter.
तो प्रभु जी तो स्लोली स्लोली हमारी इंटेलिजेंस है वो ऐसा समझ सकते कि हमारी इंटेलिजेंस थोड़ी थोड़ी अभी फिक्स होने लगी है, ऐसा अगर होता है तो?
Yes, yes, yes. Even if like there are so many stories I have heard, so many of them. The people who have never gone to the school or college, never studied anything, but once they have been, they have got the mercy of the Lord, mercy of the Guru, they become great authors. All the scriptures they are able to understand and they can quote from anywhere. That is possible. When somebody reaches that level, then this comes automatically, this intelligence, this knowledge of the scriptures. He can quote any verse from anywhere, even though he has not studied them earlier. Anything can happen, like you see Dhruva Maharaj. Dhruva Maharaj, he went to find the Lord, and when he was about 5 years old, and he traveled from where? From the present day Kanpur to Vrindavan, which is almost 400 to 500 miles distance. He walked that distance, he went, and finally, when the Lord came, he could not say anything because he didn't know. But when the Lord touched his conch on his head, then all knowledge came to him and he started glorifying the Lord. So once we have the blessings of the Lord or the blessings of the spiritual master, then why I am saying this? Because the spiritual master is more powerful than the Supreme Lord. There should be no doubt about it. And if we have their blessings on us, then we will be able to achieve this. We don't have to say that I have not studied all the Puranas, I have not studied Srimad Bhagavatam. That's why I don't know, I cannot pronounce the Sanskrit words. This will not happen. One will be totally knowledgeable once one gets the blessings of the Lord. So that is what is the thing we should remember. That can happen, and there are so many examples in history. I hope I have answered your question, Mataji.
Yes, Prabhuji, so wonderful. Thank you so much.
So, any other question or comment?
प्रभु जी, हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी,
Hare
वेरी
Krishna.
वंडरफुल क्लास। इसमें जैसा ये है, कबीर जी थे, वो बिल्कुल उन्होंने कुछ नहीं कोई एजुकेशन कुछ नहीं लिया था, बट उनको पूरा नॉलेज, उनके दोहे पढ़ेंगे तो सारा पूरा नॉलेज उसमें मिलता है।
Yes, yes, that is very, very true. That is very true. We have to have faith on these words of the scriptures.
यस यस प्रभु जी।
Okay, if you don't have questions, then I'll request you, the way we are studying the Srimad Bhagavatam 10th canto, is it becoming boring, or it is all right, or we should try it in a different way so that we cover more verses? and the important aspects of the teachings or the commentaries of the acharyas we should read, so that otherwise the way we are doing, like in these 2-3 sessions, we have covered only 7 verses, and 90 chapters will never be able to finish ever. This will take many years. Shall we continue with this, or shall we do it in some other way? That is going by the meanings, the purports of Srila Prabhupada, and the commentaries, we should use them for the important aspects only, because as we see many of the commentaries, they are similar also. But yes, with this repetition, the understanding is becoming more proper. What are your views about this?
प्रभु जी, दिस इज द परफेक्ट मेथड. हमें भी ज्यादा से ज्यादा आचार्यों के बारे में मालूम पड़े, और उनका वो क्या कहते हैं वो हम थोड़ा सीख सके, समझ सके. प्रभु जी,
Okay,
इज द परफेक्ट मेथड, आई थिंक सो.
okay, Mataji, thank you. Radha Vinod,
और वी कैन
Yeah,
रिलीज द
yeah.
सब्जेक्ट ऑल्सो. प्रभु जी,
okay,
जैसे स्लोली करेंगे तो हम ज्यादा से ज्यादा रिलीज कर सकेंगे सब्जेक्ट को.
okay.
Yeah,
Hare
Prabhuji,
Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. I
Yes,
think this is the most acceptable method, because for me and neophytes like me, these things are not available, and it will take lifelong to learn all these things. So it is very nice to listen all these things.
okay, thank you. Radha Vinod,
Yeah.
Prabhuji.
Yeah, Prabhuji, I think what will happen as we initially keep this, the whatever is there, I think that's a good. As we proceed, possibly some of the terms, which will reveal. I think, let's say, continue in this speed. Maybe, because difficult to have questions here, because the so too deep philosophy. Maybe if you want, you can extend some more minute, 10-15 minutes. We have half an hour initially, and then you have 1 hour and last 30 minutes. Maybe 10-15 minutes you can extend. So let's see how it goes, Prabhuji, and what will happen. Like particularly the last 5th, 6th, 7th, right? We have how many few words only they picked up, right? So it will happen. In the text 3, there were 2 words. I think there was a lot of analysis. Maybe some of the analysis which is very close, you can really leave that. We don't need to know all the different right acharyas close meaning. And as we saw that, we need to catch up also with that. But I think this is a good way to learn some of the words and inner meaning. And as time proceeds, we'll see at that time, right? This is what my thinking, Prabhuji.
Okay, Prabhuji.
Hare
Thank you, Prabhuji.
प्रभु जी, मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेंट थिंग इज दैट हम लोग हमेशा जुड़े रहेंगे, क्योंकि ये नेवर एंडिंग प्रोसेस होगा. क्योंकि इतना लंबा है, तो हम कभी, आप बोल रहे हो कि कभी खत्म कर पाएंगे, तो उसकी जरूरत भी नहीं है. हम करते रहेंगे बस प्रभु जी, जब तक होता है. तो बहुत ही हम अच्छे से सुबह के टाइम में इतने अच्छे से जुड़ सके, दैट इज मोर इम्पोर्टेंट भागवतम से.
Okay. But our strength is dwindling, I think. We are now 10 only. Earlier we used to have about 17, 18. Some are not joining. Okay, if you want to get your friends also into this group, then they are also most welcome, because we are talking nothing which is very confidential. That's why we can have new devotees also. Nitya Sakhi Mataji,
Yes, Prabhuji. Hari Bol Dandavat Pranam.
that devotee whom I spoke the other day, she had agreed to join our group.
Yeah. Yesterday she went to Hyderabad because her father is not well. So maybe next Saturday, Sunday.
Okay. And others also all are requested, if you have got some friends who are inclined to know about Srimad Bhagavatam, then there is the life histories of our the acharyas, saints, sadhus, and all that. That is, we are studying in the Bhakta Maal series. Then please motivate them to come so that we have a little more strength also in our group. So if
Hare Krishna.
Okay, Prabhuji, sure.
Hare Krishna.
yes, Sanjay Prabhuji, you want to say something?
Yeah. So probably I like the current format. Like everyone said, I think I suggest we continue with that. Yeah, I also will share with few friends and see who can join. And also, yeah, thank you. Wonderful class today, Prabhu. Very nicely.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Correlated with all the different opinions from all the. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Then next weekend, day 1, we'll be having the Bhaktamal class. That Bhaktamal class, Santa Mataji will be concluding the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's his life history, and she will be leaving some time. In that, I'll tell you about the devotee about whom it is given in the Bhaktamal. That person was also totally illiterate. He did not go to any school or college, and he did farming only. And by doing farming only, he achieved Krishna. Krishna used to come and play with him. So that can also happen. These are very great stories. And if you have got time, then please read some of the wonderful stories given in the Bhaktamal and please share with us. I'll be sharing some of them from time to time. Then on the next day, day 2, I'll be taking the Bhagavatam class. And thereafter, the subsequent weekend, since I'll be out from here, I'll be in Bangalore. For some time, I'll not be able to take classes, but certainly I will attend the classes online. I'll see how. So this is what it is, and if we have no more comments or questions, then we can conclude today's class with the Nrsinga prayers. Any volunteer?
Nilima Mataji, please do. Nilima Mataji.
Okay.
I like Archana Mataji's prayers also.
Okay,
Thank
anyone
you.
can do.
But today you do, Mataji.
Okay. Hare Krishna. Namaste Narasingaya. Namaste Narasingaya. Praladaladaini. Praladaladaini. Hiranyakashipurvakshah. Hiranyakashipurvakshah. शिलाटङ्कनखालये शिलाटङ्कनखालये तो न सिंगा पर तो न सिंगा तो न सिंगा पर तो न सिंगा यतो यामि ततो न सिंगा यतो यामि ततो न सिंगा बहिर्न सिंगाहृदयेन सिंगा बहिर्न सिंगाहृदयेन सिंगा नरसिंहमदिं शरणं प्रपद्ये नरसिंहमदिं शरणं प्रपद्ये तव करकमलवरे नखाम् अद्भुत श्रृंगार दारिता हिरण्यकशिपु स्तनभृंगा केशवदीता नरहरि रूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय नरसिंह दे नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव, जय प्रहलाद महाराज, प्रहलाद महाराज, प्रहलाद महाराज, जय प्रहलाद महाराज, जय जय प्रभुपाद, 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 जय जय गुरुदेव, 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 गुरुदेव. All glories to His grace, Sharad Prabhuji. All glories, all glories, all glories to all devotees. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you very much. All glories to Srila Bhagavatam. All glories to all the devotees who are present. Thank you very much. Then we meet next weekend. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank
Hare
you,
Krishna to all
Prabhuji.
devotees.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Bye.
Krishna.
To
Thank
all
you very much.
devotees. Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna.
Sharad Prabhuji.
Thank
Thank you
you.
very
Hare
much. Wonderful.